Hare Krishna. So yesterday we had stopped at verse number 15. So in the verse number 13, 14, and 15 and 12, we saw that how with a wonderful arrangement of the planetary system, Parikshit Maharaj took birth. Okay, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was very satisfied with the Parikshit Maharaj, birth of Parikshit Maharaj. Had the purificatory process of birth performed by the Brahmanas like Bhumya and Kripacharya, and he satisfied them by offering them charity like a gold, land, village, elephant, horse, and food grain to Brahmana. Okay, so then Brahmanas were satisfied with the charities of the king and addressed him as a chief amongst the Purus. Brahmana being satisfied by the Yudhishthira, they addressed him as a chief amongst the Purus and informed him that his sons were certainly in the line of descendant of the Purus. So basically, these Brahmanas were telling that, oh, you have glorified your ancestor. So that's what we discussed. Okay? So now, today we'll start with verse number 16. So Brahmanas, after Yudhishthira Maharaj offered them charity, Brahmanas are glorifying, is telling the Yudhishthira Maharaj that that how Parikshit Maharaj has been saved and all those things. So then here it is said, Devena Pratidhatena Sukle Samtha Sam. You see, Rato Anugraharthaya Vishnuna Prabhu Vishnuna. The Brahmanas are saying that this spotless son has been restored by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Lord Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, in order to oblige you. So they are mentioning very, very specific word here. What is that? Anugraha Arthaya. The Brahmanas are saying that Lord was obliged to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Being obliged to Yudhishthira Maharaj, what? Lord Krishna has saved Parikshit Maharaj in the embryo, in the womb of Uttara, where embryo was destroyed by the Brahmastra. Okay. So that's what they are saying, that because the Lord was obliged, he saved him. They say he was saved when he was doomed to be destroyed by the irresistible supernatural weapon. So, they are explaining that this Brahmana said what was the reason, that what reason they gave why Lord saved him, because Lord was obliged. So purport is very wonderful. They said the child Parikshit was saved by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Vishnu for two reasons. So there were two reasons why Lord Krishna saved Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. The first reason was the child in the womb of his mother was spotless due to his being pure devotee of the Lord. Of course, why Lord appeared, Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinasayaka Duskrutam. So this Parikshit Maharaj, who was in the womb of Uttara, he was spotless in character. Okay. So, and he was a pure devotee, and that's why Lord saved him. And what was the second reason? The second reason is that child was the only surviving male descendant of Puru. The Pandavas, all five sons to Draupadi were assassinated by Aswathama. No one was left. Abhimanyu was also killed on the battlefield. And when five sons were sleeping, they have been assassinated by, they actually heinously killed by Aswathama. Then, he targeted the last one, who was who was supposed to be grandchild of Pandava. So that's what, second reason is that the child was the only surviving male descendant of Puru, the pious father of the virtuous king Yudhishthira. Okay. And because this was the only one pious king, then he said, the Lord wants to continue the line of pious king to rule over the earth as his representative for the actual progress of the peaceful, prosperous life. So Lord Krishna was aware that if none of the child of Pandava have been saved, then what will happen? Then there will be no pious king on the earth then how peaceful and prosperous life will go on. Okay. So, so everything was annihilated. Okay. So that's why, you know, so they said that why Lord Krishna saved him on the battlefield. Okay. In the next verse, so of course, the other part of the purport talks about how he was about to be killed by Aswathama and all. Then he says, so another name, so they are mentioning here another name is Vishnu Rahat, because he was saved by the Lord Krishna in the womb. Okay. So, yeah. Then he says that Tasman namna Vishnu Rata iti loke bhavishyati na sandeho mahabhaga mahabhagavato mahan. So he says, for this reason, this child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of Godhead. Vishnu Rat, meaning of Vishnu Rat is one who is protected by Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. The one who is protected by Vishnu is known as Vishnu Rat. Okay. Indirectly, all devotees are known as Vishnu Rat because they are protected by Lord Vishnu. So that's why he's mentioning for this reason, this child will be known. What is the reason? Because he was saved by Lord Krishna. Because of this reason, child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of God, that Vishnu Rat. So then, Brahmanas are telling to this that, oh, most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will become a first class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. So, Brahmana encouraging History Maharaj and the appearance of birth of Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. So, after hearing that, Brahmanas are telling that he will be qualified with all the good qualities. So then, in the next verse, Yudhishthira Maharaj will inquire. Generally, what happened when child take birth? It was earlier it was a custom that, for Jyotish will come and they will give their horoscope, what will happen to this child and all. So, of course, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada today is a 150th appearance day of His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the uh, spiritual master of His Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada has taken a birth at that time, afterwards, many sadhus used to visit at his house. At that time, they said that this child, when he will be 70, will travel across the sea, ocean, and at the age of 70, and he established 108 temple, and he did that. Prabhupada tells many times in his lecture that his horoscope was made, fully was made, and all those things. So the same way in this verse, after hearing from Brahmana that he will be possessing all the good qualities, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Sri Raja Uvacha, he's inquiring. What is inquiring? That tell us about the what kind of qualities he will have. So he's saying that Sri Raja Uvacha, Apiye Sadasyam, Apiye Savamsyan, Apiye Savamsyan Rajarsin, Punya Slokan Mahatmana, Anuvartita Sridha Sasa, Sadhuvadena Sattama. The king inquired, Yudhishthira inquired, oh great souls, means he's addressing to Brahmana, oh great souls, will he become a saintly king? So always, when child take birth, we have always, you know, concern or anxiety that, oh no, what he will become in the future. जब से पैदा हुआ है, जब तक 25 का नहीं हुआ तब तक हमें चिंता रहती, बड़ा होकर करेगा क्या. और someone's time अरे वो तो डॉक्टर बनेगा, इंजीनियर बनेगा, hardly someone's time that he will become a great good, hardly someone's time. But here Yudhishthira Maharaj is telling, asking, will he become a saintly king, as pious in his very name, that Vishnu, the one who is protected by Lord Vishnu, as pious in his very name, जैसा उनका नाम है ऐसा काम करेगा क्या? So that is what the inquiry was made by Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he says, as famous and glorified in his achievement as others who appear in this great royal family. Will he be like another, those who already appeared? So will he be like a glorious? Sorry, will he be glorious like them? So that is what the Yudhishthira Maharaj has inquiry. So that's why, Prabhupada says in the purport that forefather of the king Yudhishthira were all great saintly kings, pious and glorified by the great achievements. Okay. So they were all saints on the royal throne, and therefore all the members of the state were very happy, pious, and well behaved. Actually, if you have one good person, it helps so many other persons. So recently there was one research, when that Israel and Gaza war was going on. So somewhere in India or outside India, I don't know where. So some people has done study. They assembled 10,000 persons and they engaged them in the meditation. So what was the research? That 10% of the total, if one person in a 10% means one person in a 10 perform meditation, then it will be like 10 one minute. Huh? How many? Uh, I think 1%. Yeah, 1% people, not 10%. So 1% people out of total population, if they perform meditation with a good intention, that affects 100%. If one is doing, another 99 will be affected by that. So what is the population on the earth right now? Is around 8.5 billion or something. Okay. So then what is the 1%? So 84 million, around 8.5 million. Sorry, 85 million. So it's very difficult to assemble it. Not, but square root of the 1%. So then it's come to 9,000 or something. 9,000 a square nikaloge, it's 81,000. So 81 million or something like that. Okay. So and they said, okay, let's take a rough figure, 10,000, because some people will be erroneous. They will create error. They will not perform properly. So they took 1,000 extra. So and that's why 10,000 people they assembled and perform meditation to bring a peace in the world. So, so that's why here, if you have one good, that's why even Srila Prabhupada writes in the preface of the Bhagavad Gita that even if one person become a pure devotee, then he said that his effort will be considered as a successful. So that's why we require one good person, not that 100 good person. Okay? Even if one become good devotee, that is sufficient to deliver more, so many people. Okay. So, and therefore all the members of the state were very happy. So even if the one is pious, so king is like so many. So if one pious person affects 100 another, 200 another, or like square root करके कुछ कर दीजिए जो भी है, no? I'm not going to involve in mathematical complexity right now. So then so many people will be benefited. The king, it benefits so many people. That's why they are saying because of the pious king, therefore all the members of the state were very happy, pious, well behaved, prosperous, and spiritually enlightened. And under the strict guidance of the great souls and spiritual injections, such a great saintly kings were trained up. And as a result, the kingdom was full of saintly person and was a happy land of spiritual life. That's why Yudhishthira Maharaj is inquiring from the will the child will be pious like other king, other their ancestors, and just like his name, Vishnu Rat. That is the inquiry of the Yudhishthira Maharaj. Okay. Then Brahmana replied, Brahmana Uchu. So basically, so many Brahmana one by one they are replying. Partha Prajavita Sakshat Kiswapur Eva Manava Brahmanya Satya Sandasya Ramo Dasharathir Yatha. He says the learned Brahmana said, Brahmana, so this is a plural. The learned Brahmana said, O son of Pratha. So even here, O son of Pratha is addressed to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Okay. O son of Prutha, this child shall be exactly lying Iswaku. So here, Prutha means Yudhishthira Maharaj, but in Bhagavad Gita, the Prutha was Arjun. Okay. Then he says, the O son of Pritha, this child shall be exactly like a King Iswaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. Iswaku king was maintaining so nicely to their people. Yes. Then, and and as for following the Brahmanical principle, special in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like a Ram. So all of you know, right? Pran jaye par vachan na jaye. So he's exactly true to his promise. Okay. The personality of God as the son of Maharaj Dasharatha. Okay. So, so at that time, during the time of the Yudhishthira Maharaj, the praja was not just for human beings. Praja was even for animals. Praja were used, even the animals who have taken a birth in that kingdom were considered as a praja. It's not that just, what should I say, that man or human being or female, whatever. No, they were not just considered as a praja, but even the animals are also considered as a praja. Okay. So that we'll discuss that, when uh, Parikshit Maharaj meets Kali, at the time we'll discuss. Okay. So then they continue. Okay, so here you can see. So Maharaj Isaku, one of the son of Vaivasvat Manu. So this comes in verse number 4.1. Ivam Vyasvate Yogam. Ivam Vyasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyam Vyasvan Manuve Prahu Manu Riswako Bravi. So during the time of Vaivasvan, Vyasvan is the name of son of Manu, Vaivasvat Manu, and son of Vaivasvat Manu is Viswaku. Viswaku instructed Manu. And the father of Iswaku is the seventh Manu. Basically, this happened in the seventh Manu. Okay. Okay, so we'll continue. There are some histories, you can read that. I'm not going through them. And here it says, then the Brahmana continue that Esa Data Saranyasya Yatha Hausi Narahasibi Yasogita Nita Swanam Desyanti Yajvaman Yajvanam. This child will be munificent donor of charity and protector of the surrender, like the famous King Sibi of the Kusinara country. He will be great charitable. And he will expand the name and fame of his family like a Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyanta. Dushyanta and Sakuntala, right? So there are three Bharat. One is a son of Rishabdev, one is a son of Sakuntala and Dushyant, and one is the younger brother of Lord Ramchandra. Okay. So yeah. So Maharaj Siddhi was so charitable, he disposed that he wanted to give over his acquired position in the heavenly kingdom to Yayad. Okay. But he did not accept it. So even the Sibi was so charitable and he was ready to give up heavenly kingdom. That was, when we get a well, that's very difficult to give it up. But King Sibi was ready to give it up. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah. The king, being a representative of Lord, must possess the attitude of giving protection to the surrender souls at all risk. And Maharaj Sibi, the king of Uchinara, was intimate friend of Maharaj Yayati, who was able to reach the heavenly planet along with Maharaj Sibi. And Maharaj Sibi was aware of heavenly planets where he was to be transferred after his death. And the description of this heavenly planet is given in Mahabharata. Okay. So Maharaj Sibi wanted to give, but Yati, didn't accept. Yati went to the heavenly planet along with the great rishis like Ashtaka and others. So on inquiry from the rishi, Yati gave an account of Sibi's pious act when all of them were on the path of heaven. He has become a member of the assembly of Yamraj. So this is a description of Sibi. Okay, so Okay, let's not go in detail right now. So there is this Dhvaninam Agranir Esa Tulyasya Cha Arjunayor Dvayo Utsaha Eva Durdarasa Samudra Eva Dustara. Amongst the great bowmen, this child will be as good as Arjuna. He will be as irresistible as fire and is unsurpassable as the ocean. So, yeah, this is Arjuna is about his grandfather, the father of Abhimanyu. And this is Mrugendriva iva Vikranto Nisevayo hi Bhavana iva Tiksurva Sudevaso Sahisnu Pitrava iva. This child will be strong as a lion and as worthy a shelter as the Himalaya mountain. He will be forbearing like the earth and as tolerant as his parents. So Pandavas were so much tolerant, right? Their parents specifically used for Pandavas. Okay. So they are really Pandavas and everyone, whoever is there. So yeah. So then Pitamahasma Samye Prasad Giri Sopamha Asyadya Sarvabhutanam Yatha Devo Ramasraya. So this child will be like his grandfather Yudhishthir or Brahma in equanimity of mind. Equanimity of mind means, if you remember, Yudhishthir Maharaj is known as Ajata Satru, one who has no enemy. So even the Yudhishthir Maharaj was so great that he was not calling Duryodhan. He was calling him Suryodhan. He was always to see good in everyone. So because he has the equanimity of mind, he didn't differentiate between enemy and friends. Okay, so he was free from these dualities. Okay. So once upon a time, no, Dronacharya told Yudhishthir Maharaj, "Oh, please go and find out who is the worst in the world." So Yudhishthir Maharaj went and he saw, he found some good quality in everyone. So after coming, he told, "Oh, Gurudev, there is some good quality in everyone, which I don't have, complete. So everyone is better than me. I am the worst." So he was equipoised, very equipoised. He was non-envious to anyone. So that's why it is said that this child will be like his grandfather Yudhishthir or Brahma in equanimity of mind. He will be munificent like the Lord of the Kailas hill Shiva. Means बहुत दयावान होता है आशुतोष, right? And he will be the resort of everyone like the supreme person of Godhead Narayana, who is even the shelter of the goddess of fortune. So he will give the shelter to everyone. Even he give the shelter to Kali. We'll discuss in the future chapter. Then it says, Sarva Sadguna Mahatmye Esa Krishnan Anuvrata Ranti Deva Ivo Daro Yatit Ivo Dharmikaha. This child will be almost as good as Lord Sri Krishna by following in his footsteps. So, like as good as Lord Krishna, because he will exactly follow the instruction of Lord Krishna in that sense. Just like, not like, he's not equal to Krishna, but as Guru is Sakshat Haritvana Samasta Shastra. So Guru is as good as he should be as good as God, but he's not God. But since he's following the instruction of the God, he'll be considered as good as God, but not God. So that sense. So in magnanimity, he will become a great king as the Ranchi Dev, and in religion, he will like a Maharaj Yayati. So what is the Ranchi Dev? So he was a king prior to Mahabharata. Okay, and he was this story was told by Narad Muni. Okay, so he was a great king, liberal for hospitality and distribution of the foodstuff. You might have heard this story, very famous. So even Lord Krishna praised his act of charity and hospitality. This comes in 9th canto, 8th or 9th canto, I forgot. And he was blessed by the great Vasishtha Muni for supplying him cold water and thus he achieved the heavenly planet. So he used to supply fruits, roots, and leaves to the rishis, and thus he was blessed by them with the fulfillment of his desire. So although he was Kshatriya, he never ate flesh. He was especially hospitable to Vasishtha Muni, and by his blessing only to attain the higher planetary residence. So if you might have heard, Ranti Deva was, he was tested like that his last meal was left and he was about to eat. At that time, uh, someone came, so he offered that last meal. And after that last meal was given up, and some other bird or something came. I forgot that story, but it was hungry. Then he cut the flesh from his body and gave it. That much he was that much hospitality he has. So the story of Yayati we'll study in chapter number, canto 9. So then he says, Dhrutaya bali samah Krishne pralad iva satraha aharte so aswame ganam ruddinam paripasaka. So he says, child will be like a Bali Maharaj in patience, a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj, a performer of many Aswamedha sacrifice, and a follower of the old and experienced men. The Bali Maharaj story will here in 8th canto. Then he says, Rajarshinam janayita sasta choto upat gaminam child will be the father of the kings who will be like a series. Child will be the father of the kings who will be like a series. Okay. For world peace and for the sake of religion, will be the chastiser of the upstarts and corruption. He will perform his Satriya duty. He said, then he says, then now, Brahmanas are predicting that how he will die. So they are telling to Yudhishthir Maharaj that तक्षक आद आत्मनो मृत्युम द्विज पुत्र उपसर्जित प्राप्तस्य उपसृत्य मुक्त संग पदम हरे. Then he says, after hearing about his death, after hearing about his death, which will be caused by the bite of the snake bird sent by a son of Brahmana, he will get himself free from all material attachment and surrender unto personality of Godhead, taking shelter of him. Okay. So, so they are predicting how he will die. That as soon as he will come to know about his death by the bite of the Taksak bird or snake bird, he will give himself free from the material attachment and surrender unto the personality of Godhead, taking shelter of him. So that is what they are mentioning. Then they continue that जिज्ञासितात्मा यथा अर्थायो मुने व्यास सुतादसो हित्वेदम रूप गंगायाम यास्याति आदहा कुतो भयम. So he says, after inquiring about the proper self knowledge from the son of Vyasdev, so now they are predicting, after inquiring about the proper self knowledge from the son of Vyasdev, who will be great philosopher, will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. So, this famous verse will discuss that Sukdev Goswami will tell to Parikshit Maharaj in the second canto, first chapter, verse number 5, I think. He says, Tasmat Bharat Sarvatma Bhagwan Iswar Hari Srotavyasya Kirtitavyasya Ichchato Bhayam. So, at the end of the first canto, Parikshit Maharaj asked two questions to Sukdev Goswami. Please do remember this thing. The first question is, what is the duty of the person who is about to die in a short time, near future? And second is, what is the duty of the person who is not immediately going to die? There is some time. Some time means maybe few years, few months. But Parikshit Maharaj is very short time, just for 7 days. So while answering this question, Sukdev Goswami Maharaj says that Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagwan Iswar Hari. Shrutavyasya, Kirtitavyasya, Smartavyasya, Ichchato Abhayam. If someone wants to be fearless in his life, then what they have to do? Bhagwan Ishwar Hari, they have to hear, glorify about, and remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what he tells. Hey, oh, the greatest king of Bharata, that if you want to achieve the fearlessness, then you have to hear about, remember, and glorify the activities of Lord Krishna. Okay, so that is what is mentioning, that once he hear that who will get, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve the life of fearlessness. How we can achieve the fearlessness? Just by surrendering to Krishna. So then he says, iti ragna upadisya viprajataka kovidha labda pachitaya sarve प्रति जगमु स्वकान ग्रहीण. कोविड से पहले कोविड लिख दिया है ना भागवत. So then he says, thus those who were expert in astrological knowledge in performance of birth ceremony instructed King Yudhishthira about the future history of his child. Then being sumptuously remunerated, they will return to their respective homes. Remunerated means a charity was offered. So then here it says, स एष लोके विख्याता परीक्षित इति यत् प्रभु पूर्वं दृष्टम अनुध्यायन् Parikshit Nareswaiha. So his son would become famous in the world as a Parikshit, because he would come all after that personality whom he saw before his birth. So earlier it was mentioned that he is known as a Vishnu Rat, the one who has been protected by Lord Vishnu. And here they are mentioning. So his son would become, his son means here is Pandava, they are mentioning. So his son would become a famous in the world as a Parikshit, examiner, because he would come to examine all human beings in his search after the personality whom he saw before his birth. Thus he who would come to know constantly the contemplated him. Thus he would come to constantly contemplate him. So when Parikshit Maharaj will, they said that when he will become mature enough to understand the people, he will constantly observe the human being and check, he examine, oh, whether is the same person whom I saw in the womb. Yeah. So that's why examiner, Parikshit. That's why he will be known as a Parikshit. Yeah. So Maharaj Parikshit was fortunate because he got the impression of Lord even in the womb of mother. See, this purport is very wonderful. And thus his contemplation on the Lord was constantly with him. Once the impression of the transcendental form of the Lord is fixed in one's mind, one can never forget him in any circumstance. एक बार भगवान ने थोड़ा सा टेस्ट दिया ना, डिफिकल्ट होता है जाना. Child Parikshit, after coming out of the womb, was in the habit of examining everyone to see whether he was the same personality whom he first saw in the womb. But no one could be equal to or more attractive than the Lord, and therefore he never accepted anyone. But the Lord was constantly with him by such an examination. So when he was examining everyone and he was remembering, oh, it's the same person. So in that way, he was constantly contemplating about the Lord. Okay. And, but the Lord was constantly with him by such an examination. Thus Maharaj Parikshit was always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord by remembering. So, okay, same thing will be told by Parikshit, Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. The Smartavyasya, Shrutavyasya, Smartavyasya, always remember. And that way Parikshit Maharaj is remembering. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, if you have any question, comment, feedback, you can unmute and ask.
Hare Krishna.